Dr. Myles Munroe's The Principles and Power of Vision is a comprehensive guide to understanding, developing, and fulfilling one's vision. Dr. Myles Munroe argues that vision, the ability to see beyond the present and into the potential future, is not merely a desirable trait, but an essential ingredient for a meaningful and successful life. He posits that every individual is born with a unique purpose and a corresponding vision, divinely implanted within their hearts. The book is structured around 12 core principles that Dr. Myles Munroe believes are crucial for unlocking the power of vision and achieving one's God-given destiny, both personally and corporately. Introduction: Life without vision, the unfulfilled potential. Dr. Myles Munroe begins by illustrating the tragic consequences of a life devoid of vision. He uses the analogy of a golden Buddha statue, initially hidden beneath a layer of clay, to represent the untapped potential that resides within each individual. He laments the pervasive lack of purpose and unfulfilled potential in the world, observing that countless individuals drift through life without a clear sense of direction or meaning. He argues that this aimlessness is a form of poverty, far more debilitating than material lack, as it robs individuals of the joy, fulfillment, and impact they were designed to experience. He introduces the concept of vision as the key to unlocking this hidden potential. Vision, he explains, is not merely wishful thinking or vague daydreaming, but a divinely inspired conception, a mental picture of a preferred future that empowers individuals to pursue their God-given purpose with passion and perseverance. He emphasizes the transformative power of vision, arguing that it provides the motivation, direction, and resilience needed to overcome obstacles and achieve meaningful success. He invites readers to embark on a journey of self-discovery, guided by the principles outlined in his book, to uncover their unique vision and fulfill their destiny. Vision, the key to fulfilling your life's purpose. Embracing your destiny. Dr. Myles Munroe establishes the foundational importance of vision in achieving a fulfilling life. He contends that God has placed a unique vision within each person, a vision designed to give purpose and meaning to their existence. He argues that a life without vision is a life of unfulfilled potential, characterized by frustration, dissatisfaction, and a sense of aimlessness. He cites statistics on job dissatisfaction and the growing disillusionment with work-life balance to illustrate the widespread longing for meaning and purpose in contemporary society. He challenges the conventional notion of retirement as the ultimate goal, arguing that life is not merely a series of rituals leading to an inevitable end, but a divinely orchestrated journey with a specific destination. He introduces the concept of a preliminary occupation versus a true occupation. A job, he explains, is merely a stepping stone, a means to an end, while one's true work is the fulfillment of their God-given vision. He emphasizes the importance of aligning one's daily activities with their ultimate purpose, urging readers to pursue their passions and talents, not for the sake of wealth or recognition, but for the intrinsic satisfaction of fulfilling their destiny. He highlights the unique design of each individual, emphasizing that God has created each person with a specific set of gifts, talents, and a unique vision that no one else can fulfill. He encourages readers to embrace their individuality and reject the pressure to conform to societal expectations, reminding them that they were created to stand out, not to blend in. The source of vision, unveiling the divine blueprint. Dr. Myles Munroe explores the origins of vision, arguing that it emanates from God's purpose for each individual's life. He defines vision as foresight with insight based on hindsight, emphasizing that it's a divinely inspired glimpse into the future, grounded in an understanding of one's past and present circumstances. He explains that God is the author of vision and that every human being is born with a unique purpose and a corresponding vision. He emphasizes that this vision is not something we create, but something we discover, something that is already within us, waiting to be unveiled. He reminds readers that God's purposes are eternal and unchanging, offering assurance that their visions, if aligned with God's will, are destined for fulfillment. He highlights several key aspects of the source of vision. Vision emerges from purpose. Dr. Myles Munroe argues that vision is always rooted in purpose. Our purpose, he explains, is the reason for our existence, the why behind our being. Vision, then, is the how, the practical expression of our purpose in the world. We are born at the right time. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes the significance of timing in the fulfillment of our visions. He explains that God has ordained not only our purpose but also the specific time and season in which it is to be fulfilled. He encourages readers to embrace the present moment, recognizing that they are living in the perfect time to accomplish their God-given vision. We are given a sense of purpose. Dr. Myles Munroe explores the concept of the burden of purpose, explaining that each individual is born with an innate sense of what they are meant to do, a responsible urge that drives them toward the fulfillment of their destiny. God's eternal purpose in our hearts. Dr. Myles Munroe reveals that God has placed a piece of eternity within each person's heart, a longing for something beyond the temporal and mundane. This eternal imprint, he explains, is the source of our deepest desires and the catalyst for our visions. He emphasizes that our visions are not just about personal fulfillment, but about participating in God's eternal purposes for the world. Our purpose is already completed in God. Dr. Myles Munroe introduces the profound concept that our purpose is already complete in the mind of God. He explains that God works from the end to the beginning, establishing the ultimate outcome before initiating the process. This realization, he argues, should empower believers to pursue their visions with confidence, knowing that the end result is already secured in God's eternal plan. We already know our vision. Dr. Myles Munroe contends that our deepest desires are often clues to our divinely implanted vision. He encourages readers to pay attention to their recurring thoughts, passions, and dreams, recognizing them as whispers from God, guiding them toward their true purpose. He clarifies the distinction between vision and mere interest, emphasizing that true vision is accompanied by a deep passion and a persistent desire to pursue it, regardless of obstacles. He emphasizes that vision is not something we possess, but something that possesses us. It's a driving force, a compelling urge that shapes our thoughts, emotions, and actions. Overcoming obstacles to vision, confronting the barriers to fulfillment. Dr. Myles Munroe identifies three primary obstacles that can hinder the fulfillment of vision: a misunderstanding of the nature of vision, a failure to recognize its cost, and a lack of knowledge of the principles that govern its operation. He argues that most people live in a state of mediocrity, a region bordered by compromise, indecision, past thinking, and a lack of vision. He encourages readers to escape this stagnant state and embrace the exceptional life that God has designed for them by understanding and overcoming these obstacles. Fleshing out the three obstacles. Obstacle number 1, not understanding the nature of vision. Dr. Myles Munroe stresses the importance of specificity in vision. He argues that many individuals fail to achieve their dreams because their visions are too vague or general. He distinguishes between vision, mission, and goals. A mission, he explains, is a broad statement of purpose, while goals are specific targets or milestones. Vision, however, is the overarching picture, the preferred future that provides direction and meaning to both mission and goals. He emphasizes that vision must be clearly defined, with specific parameters and measurable outcomes. Obstacle number 2, not recognizing the cost of vision. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes that fulfilling a vision requires diligence, perseverance, and a willingness to pay the price. He challenges the notion of effortless success, arguing that every worthwhile endeavor requires effort, sacrifice, and a commitment to overcoming obstacles. He warns against the temptation to blame external factors like bad luck or unfavorable circumstances for one's lack of progress, urging readers to take responsibility for their choices and actions. Obstacle number 3, not knowing the principles of vision. Dr. Myles Munroe introduces the concept of governing principles that underpin the fulfillment of vision. These principles, he explains, are not arbitrary rules, but divinely ordained laws that govern the spiritual and natural realms. He suggests that understanding and applying these principles is crucial for achieving lasting success and fulfilling one's God-given potential. Fleshing out the principles of vision. Principle number 1, be directed by a clear vision. The importance of focus and direction. Dr. Myles Munroe begins his exposition of the 12 principles of vision by emphasizing the importance of clarity and focus. He argues that a clear vision is essential for effective leadership and personal fulfillment. He uses the examples of biblical figures like Moses, Joshua, David, and Nehemiah to illustrate how a clear vision provides direction, motivation, and resilience in the face of adversity. He reminds readers that even Jesus had a clear understanding of his Father's business, and that this focus guided everything he did. He distinguishes between the what and the why of existence, arguing that while education and knowledge are valuable, they are insufficient without a clear understanding of one's purpose. He emphasizes that knowing what we are is less important than knowing why we are. Our purpose, he explains, is the driving force behind our actions, the internal compass that guides us toward our destiny. He encourages readers to be decisive and persistent in pursuing their vision, rejecting complacency, and embracing the passion that comes from knowing their God-given purpose. He reminds them that they were not created for boredom or dissatisfaction, but for a life of purpose, fulfillment, and impact. Principle number 2. Know your potential for fulfilling vision. Unleashing your God-given abilities. Dr. Myles Munroe explores the concept of potential, arguing that God has equipped each individual with the abilities and resources needed to fulfill their unique vision. He reminds readers that their potential is not limited by their past experiences, their perceived limitations, or the opinions of others. He emphasizes that God's power is at work within them, enabling them to achieve far more than they could ever ask or imagine. He encourages readers to take a virtual tour of their dream, visualizing themselves fulfilling their vision in every detail, to strengthen their faith and ignite their passion. He uses the analogy of mass-produced clothing versus designer-made originals to illustrate the uniqueness of each individual. He reminds readers that they are not meant to be copies or imitations, but unique creations designed by God with a specific purpose in mind. He encourages them to identify and develop their unique gifts and talents, recognizing that their gift is what will make room for them in the world. He shares the story of Louis Armstrong, who was initially rejected by a music school, but went on to become a legendary jazz musician, to illustrate how perseverance and a belief in one's God-given potential can overcome even the most discouraging obstacles. Principle number 3. Develop a concrete plan for your vision. Translating dreams into actionable steps. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes the importance of planning in translating vision into reality. He states unequivocally that there is no future without planning, arguing that wishful thinking and vague aspirations are insufficient for achieving meaningful success. Exercise. Exercise is the best medicine for dealing with the reality of abnormal circumstances. He emphasizes that while God gives the vision, it's our responsibility to develop the plan. He uses the analogy of a builder using a blueprint to construct a house, to illustrate how a well-defined plan provides the structure and direction needed to bring a vision to fruition. He highlights the importance of writing down one's vision and developing a detailed plan for its accomplishment. He shares his personal practice of meticulously planning for the future of his ministry, Bahamas Faith Ministries International, to exemplify the power of planning in achieving long-term goals. He uses Nehemiah's meticulous planning for the rebuilding of Jerusalem's walls as a biblical example of how a detailed plan, coupled with faith and action, can overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. He encourages readers to start with what they have, trusting that God will provide the additional resources needed as they move forward in faith. Principle number 4. Possess the passion of vision. The fuel of persistence and perseverance. Dr. Myles Munroe argues that passion is an essential ingredient for fulfilling one's vision. He defines passion as stamina that fuels persistence in the face of adversity. He explains that passionate people are those who have discovered something more important than life itself, something worth fighting for, worth sacrificing for, and worth enduring hardship for. He uses the example of the Apostle Paul, who endured persecution, imprisonment, and even shipwrecks to fulfill his vision of spreading the gospel to the Gentiles. To illustrate the power of passion in overcoming obstacles, he emphasizes that true passion is unwavering, unyielding, and relentless. It's a fire in the belly that cannot be quenched by discouragement, setbacks, or the opinions of others. He encourages readers to ask themselves how badly they want their vision, reminding them that lukewarm desires produce lukewarm results. He also cautions against allowing others, even well-meaning friends and family, to extinguish their passion or divert them from their purpose. He reminds readers that their vision is unique to them and that they must be willing to stand firm in their convictions, even in the face of opposition. Principle number 5. Develop the faith of vision. Seeing beyond the present and into the possible. Dr. Myles Munroe explores the crucial role of faith in fulfilling vision. He argues that faith is not merely a belief in the unseen, but a confident expectation of the future, a vision of what could be, empowered by God's promises. He contrasts faith with mere sight, explaining that sight is limited to the present, while faith sees beyond the limitations of the physical realm and into the realm of possibility. He quotes Helen Keller's powerful statement, "What's worse than being blind is having sight without vision," to illustrate the limitations of a life confined to the present, devoid of hope and expectation. He emphasizes that faith is vision in the heart, the ability to see the future before it comes into being. He argues that our thoughts shape our reality and that we must cultivate a mindset of faith, focusing on what we want to achieve rather than dwelling on our present limitations or past failures. He challenges readers to speak words of faith, declaring their vision and believing in its eventual fulfillment, even when circumstances appear unfavorable. He reminds them that God is at work within them, empowering them to achieve far more than they can imagine. Principle number 6. Understand the process of vision. Embracing the journey of fulfillment. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes that fulfilling a vision is not an instantaneous event, but an ongoing process, a journey of growth, development, and transformation. He explains that God rarely reveals the entire path at once, but guides us step by step, day by day, through a series of experiences, challenges, and opportunities. This process, he argues, is not designed to frustrate us, but to prepare us for the fulfillment of our vision. He uses the analogy of a ship's journey, guided by a compass and rudder, but also requiring a specific course charted by the captain, to illustrate how God directs our steps toward our ultimate destination. He encourages readers to be patient and persistent in the process, trusting that God's timing is perfect. He reminds them that their present circumstances, even the difficult ones, are part of God's plan for their development, and that they should embrace the journey, knowing that it is preparing them for the fulfillment of their vision. He encourages them to write down their plans, not as rigid mandates, but as flexible guides that can be adjusted as God leads them through the process. He also emphasizes the importance of acknowledging God's work in their lives, giving Him credit for their successes, and trusting in His provision for their needs. Principle number 7. Set the priorities of vision. Making strategic choices for success. Dr. Myles Munroe explains that fulfilling a vision requires setting clear priorities and making strategic choices. He argues that our lives are the sum total of our decisions, and that every decision, no matter how small, has an impact on our ability to achieve our goals. He emphasizes the importance of prioritizing activities and relationships that align with our vision and eliminating distractions that divert us from our purpose. He uses the example of Martha and Mary in Luke 10 to illustrate the importance of prioritizing what is best over what is merely good. He explains that while many activities may be worthwhile in themselves, they can become obstacles if they pull us away from our primary focus. In some respects, he emphasizes that a clear vision helps us to discern between good and best, enabling us to make strategic choices that move us closer to our goals. He encourages readers to examine every aspect of their lives, their finances, their relationships, their entertainment choices, even their eating habits, and determine whether these things are contributing to or detracting from their vision. He reminds them that their vision should be the driving force behind their decisions, shaping their priorities and influencing every aspect of their lives. Principle number 8. Recognize people's influence on vision, the power of association and disassociation. Dr. Myles Munroe explores the significant impact that other people have on the fulfillment of our visions. He introduces the law of association, which states that we become like those with whom we spend time. He emphasizes that influence is both powerful and subtle, often shaping our thoughts, beliefs, and actions without our conscious awareness. He argues that we must be discerning in our relationships, choosing to associate with people who support our vision and inspire us to pursue our dreams, while disassociating from those who hinder our progress or try to hold us back. He shares personal experiences of how he has both expanded and limited his associations to protect his vision and cultivate a positive and supportive environment. He acknowledges the challenge of disassociating from negative influences, especially family members, but emphasizes that our vision and our destiny must take precedence if we are to fulfill our God-given purpose. He encourages readers to ask themselves 3 key questions about their relationships. With whom am I spending time? What are these people doing to me? And is what other people are doing to me a good thing in relation to my vision? He reminds them that their friends and associates should be their greatest cheerleaders, not their biggest critics, and that they should surround themselves with people who believe in their dreams and encourage them to pursue their goals. Principle 9. Employ the provision of vision, trusting in God's abundant supply. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes that God provides the resources needed to fulfill our visions, both financial and otherwise. He challenges the common misconception that we must have all the necessary resources in hand before we can begin pursuing our dreams. He explains that God often provides provision as we take steps of faith, opening doors and making resources available as we need them. He uses the analogy of car manufacturers creating spare parts before building the cars themselves to illustrate how God often prepares provision in advance, even before we recognize our need. He also challenges common misconceptions about prosperity, arguing that true prosperity is not about excess or accumulation, but about having everything that is needed for the fulfillment of our vision. He encourages readers to trust in God's provision, even when their resources seem inadequate, and to focus on their purpose rather than on their perceived limitations. He reminds them that God has already blessed them with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places, Ephesians 1:3, and that they should approach Him with confidence, knowing that He is able to provide all that they need to fulfill His purposes for their lives. Principle 10. Use persistence in achieving the vision, overcoming opposition and adversity. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes the importance of persistence in overcoming obstacles and achieving one's vision. He explains that every true vision will be tested for authenticity and that we must be prepared to face opposition, challenges, and even setbacks along the way. He encourages readers to develop resilience, to view obstacles as opportunities for growth, and to persevere in their pursuit of their dreams, regardless of the odds. He emphasizes the importance of faithfulness, steadfastness, and courage in navigating the challenges that inevitably arise in the pursuit of vision. Faithfulness, he explains, means being true to one's commitment, even when it's difficult. Steadfastness involves standing firm in the face of resistance, refusing to be swayed by discouragement or opposition. Courage, he explains, is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act in spite of fear, trusting in God's strength and guidance. He reminds readers that they are not alone in this journey, and that God is always with them, empowering them to overcome every obstacle and achieve their God-given destiny. Principle 11. Be patient in the fulfillment of vision, trusting in God's perfect timing. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes the importance of patience in the fulfillment of vision. He explains that God's timing is not always our timing, and that we must be willing to wait for His perfect plan to unfold. He cautions against trying to force or rush the process, reminding readers that vision is a journey, not a destination, and that the journey itself is often a crucial part of God's plan for our growth and development. He explains that patience produces several key benefits. Ensures the success of the plan. Patience allows God to work out the details of our vision in His perfect way and in His perfect time, ensuring the ultimate success of our endeavors. Brings peace in the midst of uncertainty. Patience enables us to remain calm and confident even when circumstances are uncertain or challenging, trusting that God is in control and that His plan will ultimately prevail. Overcoming adversity. Patience is a powerful weapon against adversity, as it allows us to outlast our challenges and emerge victorious in the end. Wins the race. Patience is essential for endurance, enabling us to stay in the fight even when we're weary or discouraged, and ultimately, to win the race of life. He encourages readers to trust in God's timing, to remain steadfast in their pursuit of their vision, and to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord. Lamentations chapter 3, verse 26. Knowing that His promises are true and that His plans for their lives will ultimately come to pass. Principle 12. Stay connected to the source of vision, the power of prayer and communion with God. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes the crucial role of prayer in maintaining connection with God, the source of vision. He argues that prayer is not merely a religious ritual but a vital lifeline to God, a means of receiving guidance, strength, encouragement, and the resources needed to fulfill our vision. He explains that prayer is what keeps us connected to the vision giver, providing the spiritual nourishment and direction we need to stay on track and persevere in the face of adversity. He shares personal examples of how prayer has sustained him through difficult times and challenging seasons in ministry, emphasizing that prayer is the place where we can pour out our hearts to God, confess our fears, and receive His comfort and assurance. He encourages readers to establish a daily prayer time, a dedicated space for connecting with God and seeking His guidance. He reminds them that God is the source of their vision, the sustainer of their dreams, and the ultimate provider of all they need to fulfill His purposes for their lives. The generational nature of vision. Leaving a legacy of purpose and impact. Dr. Myles Munroe introduces the concept of generational vision, emphasizing that our visions are not just about our own lives, but also about impacting future generations. He explains that we are each part of a larger story, a chain of purpose that extends beyond our individual lifetimes. He encourages readers to consider the legacy they want to leave, not just in terms of material possessions, but in terms of the values, beliefs, and contributions they make to the world. Footnote: he uses the analogy of the 4 seasons of life, dependence, independence, interdependence, and death, to illustrate the cyclical nature of life and the importance of passing on our visions and our wisdom to the next generation. He challenges readers to live lives of significance, lives that make a lasting impact on the world and leave a positive influence on those who come after them. He reminds them that their vision can outlive them, continuing to bear fruit long after they are gone, if they are faithful to pursue it and to share it with others. He encourages them to embrace the generational nature of vision and to view their lives as part of a larger, ongoing story of God's purposes being fulfilled in the earth. How to write your personal vision plan, a practical guide to defining and documenting your dreams. Dr. Myles Munroe provides a practical, step-by-step guide for developing a personal vision plan. He emphasizes that writing down one's vision is essential for clarifying its purpose, defining its scope, and translating it into actionable steps. He outlines 8 key steps for developing a comprehensive vision plan. 1. Eliminate distractions. Create a quiet and focused environment for reflection and planning. 2. Find your true self. Clarify your identity, your values, and your relationship with God. Ask yourself, who am I? Who am I in relation to God? Where do I come from as a person? How have I been created, like my source? And why am I here? 3. Find your true vision. Identify your deepest desires, your passions, and your recurring dreams. Ask yourself, what do I want to do with my life? What am I inspired to do? What would I want to do more than anything else, even if I was never paid for it? What do I love to do so much that I forget to eat or sleep? What would I like my eulogy to say about me? What kind of impact would I like to leave on my family, my community, and the world? 4. Discover your true motivation. Ensure that your vision is aligned with God's purposes and is motivated by a desire to serve others and make a positive impact on the world. Ask yourself, how does my vision help others? What is the motivation for my vision? Why do I want to do what I want to do? And can I accomplish my vision and still have integrity? 5. Identify your principles. Define your core values and the principles that will guide your actions as you pursue your vision. 6. Choose your goals and objectives. Set specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound SMART goals and objectives that will move you closer to your vision. Chapter 6. 7. Identify your resources. Assess your strengths, weaknesses, and the resources you will need to accomplish your vision, both human and material. 8. Commit to your vision. Make a firm decision to pursue your vision, acknowledging that God may refine your plans along the way, and commit your vision to God in prayer, trusting in His guidance and provision. He also includes a personal planning and goal-setting program, providing a template for readers to document their goals, objectives, and resources, and to track their progress toward fulfilling their vision. He emphasizes that writing a vision plan is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process requiring regular review, revision, and recommitment. Taking action. Action steps to bringing your vision into reality, practical application, and next steps. Dr. Myles Munroe concludes by summarizing the key principles of vision and offering practical action steps for readers to apply these principles to their own lives. He emphasizes that vision is not just a theoretical concept, but a practical tool for achieving success, fulfillment, and lasting impact. He reiterates the process of vision, highlighting the importance of capturing, simplifying, documenting, communicating, sharing ownership of, and regularly revising one's vision. He provides a concise guide for writing a mission statement and a personal vision statement, emphasizing the importance of clarity, specificity, and alignment with God's purposes. He also includes a personal plan program, a systematic strategy to help readers develop a detailed plan for fulfilling their vision. This program prompts readers to answer 10 essential questions. What do I want to accomplish? Who do I need? Where can I go for information? What do I need to read? Who should I associate with? How long should it take? How much will it cost? What courses should I take? Where can I get experience? And what do I have? He concludes with 7 principles of vision derived from Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 1, from which the word vision is taken. Simplification, shared vision, participation, timing, patience, and faith. He encourages readers to actively engage in the process of vision, to persevere in their pursuit of their dreams, and to trust in God's guidance and provision every step of the way. A word to third world nations. Empowering a vision for development. In a special address to developing nations, Dr. Myles Munroe highlights the transformative power of vision in overcoming the legacy of oppression, poverty, and social injustice. He argues that the ability to dream is the greatest power on earth, and that vision is the key to unlocking the potential of individuals, communities, and nations. He challenges the prevailing sense of hopelessness and despair that often characterizes developing nations, encouraging them to embrace the possibility of a better future and to pursue their dreams with passion and determination. He criticizes the short-sightedness and self-serving motivations of many leaders in developing nations, arguing that true leadership requires a long-term vision, a commitment to serving the people, and a willingness to prioritize the common good over personal gain. He also challenges the dependence on foreign aid and debt relief, arguing that the true solution to poverty and underdevelopment lies in unlocking the creative potential of the people through education, training, and the development of visionary leadership. He concludes with a call to action, urging developing nations to embrace the power of vision, to cultivate a mindset of hope and possibility, and to pursue their dreams with their reach. Overall message and themes. The Principles and Power of Vision is a powerful and inspiring guide to fulfilling one's God-given potential. Dr. Myles Munroe's central message is that vision is not just a desirable trait, but an essential ingredient for a meaningful and successful life. He emphasizes the importance of aligning our lives with God's purposes, discovering our unique vision, and pursuing it with passion, perseverance, and unwavering faith. Several key themes emerge throughout the book. 1. The importance of purpose. Dr. Myles Munroe repeatedly emphasizes that every individual is born with a unique purpose, a divinely ordained reason for their existence. He argues that discovering and fulfilling this purpose is the key to unlocking one's full potential and experiencing a truly fulfilling life. 2. The power of vision. Dr. Myles Munroe presents vision as a divinely inspired conception, a mental picture of a preferred future that empowers individuals to pursue their purpose with passion and perseverance. He argues that vision is the driving force behind all meaningful achievement and the key to overcoming obstacles and achieving lasting success. 3. The role of faith. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes the crucial role of faith in translating vision into reality. He explains that faith is not merely a belief in the unseen, but a confident expectation of the future, a vision of what could be, empowered by God's promises. 3. The importance of action. Dr. Myles Munroe stresses that vision without action is mere wishful thinking. He encourages readers to develop concrete plans, set clear priorities, and take decisive steps toward fulfilling their dreams. 5. The value of perseverance. Dr. Myles Munroe recognizes that the journey toward fulfilling a vision is not always easy. He encourages readers to develop persistence, to view challenges as opportunities for growth, and to never give up on their dreams, regardless of the obstacles they may encounter. 6. The significance of relationships. Dr. Myles Munroe highlights the importance of surrounding oneself with positive and supportive people who encourage and inspire us to pursue our visions, while disassociating from negative influences that can hinder our progress. 7. The power of provision. Dr. Myles Munroe emphasizes that God provides the resources necessary for fulfilling our visions, both financial and otherwise. He encourages readers to trust in God's provision and to focus on their purpose, even when their resources seem limited. The generational impact of vision. Dr. Myles Munroe introduces the concept of generational vision, emphasizing that our visions are not just about our own lives, but also about impacting future generations. He encourages readers to consider the legacy they want to leave and to view their lives as part of a larger, ongoing story of God's purposes being fulfilled in the earth. The Principles and Power of Vision is a transformative book that challenges readers to embrace their God-given potential, discover their unique vision, and pursue it with passion, perseverance, and unwavering faith. It provides a practical roadmap for fulfilling one's destiny and making a lasting impact on the world.